Welcome into the DNVR Rockies podcast, brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Now when you use promo code DNVR at sign up, you're going to get $200 in free bets instantly when you place a $5 bet and win this Sunday with code DNVR, only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. I am Patrick Lyons.
I'm Suzie Hunter. Patrick, some changes to our set.
We've got a bobblehead bar.
Got a bobblehead bar. Apparently Nuggets gnomes are a thing.
We're ready to rock.
Yeah, we're ready to rock.
We're going to have a lot of fun today because we're going to be making fun of ourselves a little bit.
We're going to make fun of ourselves while looking back at a season in tweets.
Yeah.
That's a nice title.
A season in tweets.
A
yes.
season in tweets.
We're not going to necessarily roast the Rockies, but hey, you can only be roasted by the ones that love you most. As we learned on Tuesday. That's it. Corey Sullivan gave me the business. Yeah. We'll see if that makes the top 200 tweets because we've got a lot of them. And I held back on mine where I was like, oh, I like this one. I don't know if it's in the top 25 of the second half. Mm-hmm. That's how many fun moments took place at Coors Field.
Yeah.
Or we're just quirky or that, just with our senses of humor. We made the most of it.
We made the most of it. It was funny. Like we split up the season. We were looking through the tweets, combing through it. Patrick was like, oh, I picked out like 22 tweets. And I was like, Patrick's crazy. That's way too many. And then I realized I had the same exact
great minds
number.
You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah, there we go.
Great minds think alike. I don't know if we're not great minds or maybe the Rockies aren't great minds because we don't think alike as far as the news that just happened on Thursday morning. 2 coaching changes made on Bud Black's staff. One surprising and maybe disappointing, I think. Mm-hmm. And one we were really expecting, that of course being Dave Magadan out as the hitting coach, brought in 2019, to get a little bit more out of the Rockies bats. They had already gone to the postseason and back-to-back seasons in 2017, 2018. Now you bring on a somewhat prolific hitting coach and Dave Magadan. Sky's the limit, and yet we saw nothing but a little bit of frustration from the Rockies offense. They were supposed to go out and improve their power hitting, or at least just get better, as the phrase that pays from the front office. Hey, They just got to play better or do better. And then that didn't happen. They hit even less home runs than last year. So he is out. They part mutually. Not fired. He didn't quit. They've mutually parted ways. So that's
they've consciously uncoupled, as we like to say.
They did. They've split up. So I guess maybe they're not even technically divorced. They've just split up. Will they get back together? Will they or won't they?
I mean, it's the Rockies, so
this is a real,
they're unpredictable.
This is a real Ross and Rachel situation going on between the Rockies and Magadan. But yeah, I don't think he'll be back. It'll be very interesting to see what happens if they stay in-house. Here's a dark horse. I haven't even thought about this yet because there's been other things going on and this just broke. But Warren Schaefer, what do you think?
Ooh.
Now he's a future managerial type candidate. Mm-hmm. He's a young up and coming coach in the minor leagues. Is the manager for the Albuquerque Isotopes. Yep. We see that interchangeably. If you're a coach, you can pretty much coach just about anywhere and do any role. And so could Warren Schaefer be that guy? I think that would be a very interesting fit. He might be my dark horse right off the top of my head.
I like that. And we know the Rockies organization likes him a lot too. Like he's been around for a few years. He was in Hartford for a while. He has been, I guess not a while, a couple of years, but
That's long for minors.
But still, I feel like he's well liked in the organization. So.
And he knows these guys well too.
He does.
As you said, one of the things, what are we up to now? 46 maybe? Yard goats who have been on that have played with the Rockies.
Yes.
How many of them played with Warren Schaefer? And if not in Hartford, how many of them played when he was the managing Asheville or even before that? Again, that's a lot. That's a lot
probably
of those guys.
Every single one of those guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now the surprising and disappointing one. Stu Cole, third base coach, defensive coordinator, if you will. We saw him out there before games working with the players.
Yeah.
He's not out of the organization. He's just been reassigned to a minor league role. And hey, that could very much have been Stu's request. We know that last year with Steve Foster, he wanted to be closer to his family, so he became more of a pitching coordinator for the organization. But Stu Cole, we will not be seeing his smiling face, always smiling face at Coors Field.
And he's always so blessed. Every time you say, Stu, how you doing? He's like, I'm blessed. I can't complain. I'm going to miss that. I'm going to miss that so much.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's a vibe unto himself.
He
which
is a
great.
vibe.
You know, helped so many of the young guys. Like the first half of the season, the defense was disappointing. And he was the first one to go out there and say, guys, let's go. We're taking ground balls, the Stu Cole machine.
The Stu Cole ground ball machine.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get some branding rights on that because he worked and helped out a lot of the young guys. I mean, you look at McMahon's defense in the second half, so much better. Brendan Rodgers in particular, really good.
Yes.
Montero, you saw Trejo going out there. Hampson would work there. Ezekiel Tovar's like, what's this red machine here? And why are all these young infielders like getting in line? They can't wait to get some more ground balls from Stu Cole. We won't have that.
It's such an event during warm-ups. Like, it's just so funny.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I'm going to miss that.
Arbitration estimates are out from MLB Trade Rumors and Matt Swartz. We got 6 guys for the Rockies that are arbitration eligible. Ty Block, Brendan Rodgers, Austin Gomber, all going through their first season of arbitration. Now, the Rockies, if they designate any of them for assignment, they don't go through the arbitration process. They could also sign like an extension or even just a guaranteed deal. Brendan Rodgers, the highest among those 3-year players at $2.7 million is the projection. Again, young up and coming guy. That's not a ton of money, especially when you consider what they're paying their left fielder. But the thing that I was reminded to in this, and you take a step back after the season, Brendan Rodgers now has only 3 years left with the Rockies.
Wow.
Yes. So you say...
Where does the time go?
Exactly. So you go, all right, 2023, 24, 25, that's it. And you're saying 25, 26 is really when maybe a lot more of these young guys are on the team and contributing. They're not young guys at that point. Now they're in their second, third year. Is Brendan Rodgers going to be here a part of that? Are they going to come to an extension with him? If you look at what they did last year, they had 4 guys. And this was something that I had kind of been touting a year prior, a year going out when there was 3 years left, similar to this Rodgers situation. You either need to, pardon my phrase, this is twice I'm going potty here, shit or get off the pot. You got to do it. Tapia, Freeland, Senzatella, and McMahon. Do something because once they get close enough to free agency, they could leave and they could start smelling the grass is greener on the other side, everything that it is. And they made that move with 2 years remaining at the beginning of this offseason. Extensions for Freeland, McMahon, and Senzatella and Tapia. They end up sending him packing while he still has some decent value left. So Rodgers is now entering that fray where this next year could be pivotal. Do they want to, stay in on Brendan Rodgers and think about extending him next offseason? Or does he become this trade chip, especially when you got a logjam of corner infielders with McMahon, Montero at third base, Tolia, Crone over at first base? You might need to do something about that.
Yeah. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, I didn't... Just the time really flies.
It crept
up. It really flies.
Yes.
It really does. Yeah, we're going to have to keep an eye on B-Rod.
Yeah, we absolutely will. 4 years of service time for Hampson and Kinley. Kinley, only $1.3 million for a guy that, I think a lot of teams in the postseason say, hey, this guy would be great in our bullpen in the 7th and 8th inning. And he's only making $1.3 million. Of course, we won't see him until about midseason. Garrett Hampson, $2.1 million. Again, that's a drop in the bucket for most baseball teams. But when you have a player like Alan Trejo, who, if you teach him how to play the outfield, maybe you spend those $2 million elsewhere. So we'll kind of wait and see what happens. And then maybe the most interesting guy is Dinelson Lamet. This is his final year before free agency. He's set to make approximately $4.8 million in arbitration. When you spoke with Buddy, he said he finally kind of admitted, because everyone wanted to know, can he become a starter again? Got some Cy Young Award votes in that 2020 season. Is he more of a reliever? Buddy said, I think he is maybe a little bit more of a reliever. So that's kind of pricey.
It's pricey for a reliever.
It is pricey, but
it's pricey for a reliever that's not Tyler Kinley.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point. And then on the flip side, you say, can the Rockies go out and get a player of Dinelson Lamet's caliber for $5 million in 1 year? Probably not. How much would they have to pay? Who is this guy that's willing to, make some money now in the short term, but have to play in Colorado and maybe destroy his career? I think that's one of the reasons why the Rockies jumped on this opportunity, picked up Dinelson Lamet off of waivers, because they said, this is how we need to really acquire starting pitchers and relief pitchers. It's frugal, but it's smart. I think it's a smart strategy, and I think that's going to pay off. And so while that is on the pricier side, I think overall in the budget, when you're paying $1.3 million to a Tyler Kinley,
Yes.
and a 1.8 for a guy like Austin Gomber, what he's projected to make, possible starter, maybe he's a long reliever in the bullpen. That's okay. You can spend that $5 million on a Dinelson Lamet.
Yeah. All right. This is fair.
Yeah.
This is fair.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. There's not going to be a game tonight. No Cleveland and New York. That has been postponed already. It's that bad.
Oh, gosh.
That's wild.
And then, of course, the Philly-Atlanta game was postponed for hours last night.
Oh, yeah. We'll get into that in a second. I know you were watching that.
Yes.
Probably flipping back and forth between those two games.
We'll
talk
I have
about that.
I have two TVs.
You got
I roll a TV out.
Screens. That's how the kids are saying today, right?
Oh, is that what they say?
Screen. That's what we kids are saying.
Okay.
We fellow kids.
Kale, is that true?
Screens.
Yo, I have no idea.
Screens. Yeah.
Kale is the perfect. He's right in between the millennial and Gen Z. Like he is both. So he is like my translator almost.
It's true, but I still call it a TV. So
Like we both have TVs in front of us right now. Yeah.
No.
Exactly. It's a screen.
But that right there, we have a monitor behind. That is a TV.
Yes.
And I have two TVs in my living room.
You do?
Yes. I have a big screen TV, and then I have a TV that I wheel out into the living room.
Whoa, like elementary school projector style?
Exactly.
Okay, that's dope.
But it's a flat screen.
Now see, most people
I'm dedicated.
Most people use screens. In your case, you are literally using televisions. I stand corrected.
Thank you. Thank you for this formal public apology.
Kel,
I appreciate that.
Kel, are you going to be reaching out to Suzie via Twitter and saying, hey, can we get a photograph of this television cart situation?
no, I've seen the setup. She's
have?
tweeted about it before. It's
I've
pretty
missed it.
legit.
All right. We got an episode for next week. Just Susie's tweets.
We're finding out that maybe Patrick has me muted on Twitter.
Guilty there. No, I don't remember seeing that. I don't comb through Twitter like 24/7 to get everything sometimes. So that's what's interesting is this exercise of doing that. There were a couple that I was like, I don't remember this day. And then there were some that I said, I don't remember this day. And I said, oh no, I actually did tweet that. So your brain does become mush here at some point with it. So
yes.
I am very excited to see this photograph of the cart.
Yeah.
Know what your mobile command center looks like when you're watching postseason baseball.
Yeah. I'll send you a picture after the show.
That's fantastic. I imagine it looks a little similar to the setup that we have here at the DNVR bar on the corner of Colfax, New York. Televisions everywhere. It's amazing. Hey, I want this on that television. As long as it's a Colorado team, Denver sports, we're going to have it up. You're going to get 15% off your tab there. As long as you are a member, it's only 50 cents for your first month. If you want an annual membership, of course, you get a free shirt from DNVR Locker. All kinds of price breaks on the tailgates. Mm-hmm. You get extra raffle tickets too when you're down at the DNVR bar and we've got our watch party. So we're just throwing it at you. We want you to be a member. We want you talking with us in the members only Discord as well, where people are giving away tickets and having a lot of chat. Not even just about the Denver sports. I like my personal non-sports one I jump in. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe it is technically sports, is pro wrestling. We get into it. We got a group of us that'll go back and forth. Did you see this? What do you think's going on with that angle? Do you have a favorite alternative non-sports members only Discord? Maybe food?
Yeah, I mean, I do love food. Love talking food.
Yes, the food.
You know I'm a
first.
foodie.
No, what is the phrase?
Phones eat first.
Phones eat first.
Phones eat first.
There you go. I like that.
Do the kids still say that, Kale?
I don't know.
The phones eat first.
Yes. Eat first.
No, I love that. And look, if you are watching, no matter what screen you're watching on, whether it's television or your laptop television or your tablet television or your iTelevision in your pocket, you got to be getting a Vodka TV, right? It's the GOAT, the greatest of all television.
Getting them channels.
Getting so many. Altitude Sports, AT&T Sportsnet. So yes, despite all the squabbling that's going on and the public back and forth, just block all that out because you're going to get Nuggets. You can get Avalanche, Rockies, DU, MSU, CSU, all of that in one convenient space with Evoca TV. Head over to evoca.tv/DNVR to watch all your favorite Colorado sports teams. $25 per month plus a $5 receiver. And when you go ahead and use evoca.tv/DNVR, you get $10 off your first 3 months. So you're saving even more money. And that's the only place, don't forget, the only place to watch the DNVR Nuggets documentary all about Serbia.
Yeah.
That's going to be fantastic. Have we rented out a movie theater? We need to do that, have a whole red carpet. Has that been discussed? Do we know,
I think
Kale?
the premiere is going to be at the bar.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense. But are we going to get a red carpet?
I have not heard the
I'm gonna
red
order one.
carpet situation.
I'm just going to order one on Amazon.
You probably should.
I think I'm just going to take charge.
And then bring it home with you, and then everywhere you go, you roll it out ahead of you.
Oh, you know what? I'm actually going to buy it first for my Taylor Swift party.
Oh,
And then
perfect.
I'll lend it to the bar for the premiere.
Suzie, I recommend you heading over to www.breckbrew.com
Yes.
for the Breck Brew locator, so you make sure that you've got your Broncos Country Pale Ale. It's the drink of the season now. Hey, Avs are back too, so if you're doing the Avalanche Ale, that's okay too.
One of these bad boys.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. It's colorful Colorado at its finest. It's got 100% Colorado ingredients. It's got the Orange Crush logo. It's absolutely fantastic. Again, www.breckbrew.com to find out where you can get a Broncos Country Pale Ale near you. Near us is Kale Sorbo at the desk on the ones and twos. Let's dig into the best tweets of 2022 during this season by the Rockies and DNVR Rockies on Twitter.
And we start with a banger, quite literally.
Oh my gosh. This is my favorite tweet of the year. It was not intentional. I didn't tweet it. Who knows who did? We'll never delete it, even though it's maybe the worst tweet that's ever gone up on our account.
For the folks listening on the podcast.
Oh, I'm gonna read it now.
Oh, please
I'm
do.
gonna read
Yes.
it now.
Thank you.
Rymac Jack off DeGrom.
Yes, we all remember
point.
when Ryan McMahon hit a homer off of Jacob DeGrom. It was just a great moment in sports, wasn't it? We will never forget said home run.
We love a Rymac Jack for sure.
And when it's off DeGrom, even better. Even better. Wow, we are starting off
We're starting off a little intense. We're starting off by getting fired on live air.
Or whoever tweeted that. We've still yet to uncover that
We
one.
don't know. We'll never know.
We need to get to the bottom of it, but the investigation is ongoing. The investigation is ongoing.
I didn't know Kale was going to show that one first.
Dude, look, we are the general managers of this, and you know what? Kale's making the lineup. So
Kale's
that's
making the lineup.
That was an interesting choice as our leadoff hitter, Kale. That was an interesting choice. Batting first, the Rymac Jack against DeGrom.
Yes. All right. Oh, this was a fun moment. Why was Ryan McMahon wearing a shirt with Herman Marquez's face on it today? Well, why not? I think there's a video that went with this too, but we're just going to relive the time that Ryan McMahon wore Marquez's all-star shirt where his name was spelled wrong.
It was.
That was very funny.
He did not realize it until I pointed it out.
Yeah.
And then he goes, and then he started shouting to everybody. He's like, look at this. They spelled my name wrong. Like I didn't. And then I think that might have been the day. Ryan McMahon's like, screw it. I'm going to wear it while I go out to the
It was
field.
a couple days later, but you got the wheels turning there.
That's it. Yeah. Everyone realized, oh yeah, there's something cool in this locker. Let's go ahead.
The power we have.
And embrace it. Yes. Embrace the good vibes. Yeah. Long sleeve, nice designer thing. I don't think we saw it after that. I don't know if Ryan McMahon ever gave it back. He might have kept it.
He might not. Honestly, I would have kept it.
I think he kept it.
If I had a shirt of you where your name was spelled wrong and you let me wear it for a day, you would never get it back.
It was Lyons with an I, obviously. That would be the spelling. That's it.
All right. Kale, order those right now. Thank you. Montero is in the building from April 29th, 2022, the day he arrived ahead of his debut.
That's right. Yeah, that was exciting. We weren't necessarily expecting that to happen. He wasn't around for very long before he got sent back down to the minors. But that was exciting. That was a nice little pick me up there at the end of April. I love that.
And it's so funny to look at the dates on these. I was like, wow, it really was that long ago.
Yeah, it was 2021 is when that happened, right?
No, it was.
Feels like.
I don't want the people listening who maybe didn't detect the sarcasm to be like, oh, what was that last year?
Yeah,
you're too much of a straight man sometimes.
That's it. They didn't see the eyebrow raise on the on
Listeners
the podcast
can't
side.
see the.
That's probably why you need to go over onto the DNVR Sports channel
have to watch
on
us
YouTube.
on YouTube.
This is definitely one best served via YouTube. So if you're listening to it, great, continue, or maybe pause it and then jump over to the YouTube side, and it'll be even more enjoyable.
For the full experience, Kale, let's see more tweets. First pitch, 6:42. First hit for the Reds, also 642. That was a rough game.
Yeah, that was a very long one there at the end of April. And I think the Rockies still ended up winning 2 out of 3, if my recollection calls. Yeah.
Let's see another. Rockies, please have a big inning with the prayer circle candles.
Ongoing theme there for most of the season.
Who knew that would still be a problem from April to the very end, the bitter end.
Fitting that today's the day they part ways with Dave Magnan. Look at that. We probably, so if that decision hadn't been made after today's episode, Rockies front office is listening, which we know they do. They might have said, "Oh my gosh, didn't realize we struggled hitting in the first inning. A lot of offensive woes. Maybe we do need to make a change." But you know what? It's off our conscience now. We know.
Yes,
we don't have to worry about it. It's not on our conscience. Not at all.
No. Philadelphia, the city of brotherly wind.
That was a windy series?
It was a windy series.
Very windy.
Yes. What else I love this one. This guy's a whole vibe. The guy with the tacos jersey, number 7.
That is low-key one of my favorite parts about sitting in the press box is getting to see all the different jerseys behind home plate, seeing what people have, what kind of throwbacks. Right in front of him, woman's got an Ian Desmond jersey on, so you're like, yes, love
random.
that. But yeah, I think one of the comments that we got back on this gentleman was, of course, he's missing the apostrophe.
Yes, he is.
Going on there for the tacos. But that's a good one.
That is a good one.
I do like that.
That was a fun one.
That's pretty neat. I don't know if he, worked for Taco Bell.
I feel like Homeboy just likes tacos.
I think you might have the same. You might be represented by the same agency as Pete Davidson now, Taco Bell spokesman. And now we've got to play that. Yes,
those are great commercials.
They
picked the perfect person.
Yeah, he looks like the human version of Taco Bell.
He does. It's like if a Taco Bell franchise came to life.
Pete
Davidson.
There you go. That's the jersey he should be wearing.
All right. Speaking of jerseys,
sad day.
The Rockies black vest has been discontinued for the foreseeable future, but we can still remember and honor it. What are your favorite black vest moments? That was May.
This is the best jersey the Rockies have ever had.
Thank you.
And now it's gone.
Which is just so lame.
And now it's gone.
I know. They had to remove it from the rotation because they added the City Connects. That's how it went down, right?
Yes. Bad trade-off, in my opinion.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the City Connects. We all know this.
Ooh, hot take. Hot take. Dodgers fan Kale Sorbo doesn't like. I got him over there. No, I no. The City Connect that the Rockies have is fantastic, but you don't like that transaction. It's like you had to give up a lot to get it.
It's not worth it.
No, a supply chain issue there where they couldn't make up as many as they possibly needed or to be able to sell. And I think that was actually mostly what it was about. They could have easily supplied the black vest to the Colorado Rockies. However, do you want players wearing a jersey that you cannot order and buy? No.
No, you don't.
And now, granted, baseball and professional sports doesn't exist exclusively to sell merchandise. That's just a byproduct. But, hey, if you're going to streamline things and have proper synergy, you don't want them wearing a jersey that fans can't necessarily get.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Which is why that Ezekiel Tovar black vest jersey, if you wear it to the bar, goes on Suzie's tab. Or the City Connect, which is easier to get now.
Yes.
But I don't know if anyone wants a Todd Hollandsworth City Connect jersey.
Listen, if you get it, though, your drinks are on us. Speaking of the City Connects, this tweet, I feel like this was like a lot of people's first look at the City Connect jerseys. These pictures were our first look at what they were going to look like. And we asked people what their thoughts were. And we got a little bit of everything. We got people who were excited about them. We got people like Kale who thought they were the ugliest thing they've ever seen. He didn't say that. I'm exaggerating. Me? Dramatic? No, can't be me. So, yeah.
Yeah, there were more people that immediately liked it. The only thing that I wasn't relatively crazy about was the cap, just because it seemed a little pedestrian. It looked like a cap that you could get in a tourist shop anywhere on 16th Street Mall,
touristy.
Pearl Street, Estes Park. And so for that reason, it was just like, okay, it continued to kind of grow on me. It's still fine, but everything else I thought was a home run. Of course, people just immediately seeing, oh, Rockies, New Jersey, how can we dunk on it? And it was easy to dunk on it and say like, oh, it looks like the license plate. Yeah, the license plate is awesome.
It's
Like,
supposed to look like the license plate.
Oh, it doesn't represent Denver. The team's not called the Denver Rockies. It is a Cities Connect, no doubt, but it represents it goes beyond that.
Yeah.
Right? You're not going to go, what? There's ski poles and snowboards are in Denver. That's stupid because no one in Denver actually does snowboarding in Denver. So therefore, there's no ski culture in Denver. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Good point.
Kel, what do you like on those takes there?
Oh, nothing. I was just gonna. I don't know. There's something about the transient nature of leaning into the tourist aspect that rubs me the wrong way. But that's it's like embracing the fact that Denver's now a transplant city, and I kind of hate that.
You thought something in the City Connect represents that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my problem with the jersey as a whole, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah, because it represents sort of that road trip vibe, and I think that road trip vibe has a transient nature to it, and it represents Denver now being a transplant city, which I hate because Denver is like my hometown, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but that's just my thing.
No, that is an interesting angle on it. The only thing, and this is a good debate, but the only thing for me that I could look at and say is touristy, and maybe not even definitively touristy, is the colorful Colorado sign. It's beautiful, but if you live here, you don't see it because you live here. Now, if you're traveling and you're going to Moab or something like that, or you're going up to Yellowstone and you're driving, whatever it may be, you'll see it on your way back. But it is more for people driving to Colorado rather than who live here. All the other elements, sure, they're enjoyed by tourists, but that part in particular, I see what you're going at.
This has totally changed my view of the City Connects. This has just absolutely blown my brain wide open.
Yeah, no, I like that take, Cal. That makes some sense. I do dig that.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. I appreciate it.
Kale, we're here for you. We're here to listen. We're not just friends. We're family. All right, I loved this tweet. Only the realest fans know this obscure Rockies player. It's literally Peyton Manning from... Is this the 90s? Is this the 2000s? I don't have a good sense of what time
Do we know the context of this picture? Why was he in a Rockies uniform?
We don't know.
I don't know. Well, he was there earlier this season. I don't know if that photo was
no, that is an old photo.
Yeah.
That's from late 90s, early 2000s Peyton Manning when his hair was still way down on his forehead.
Was it? See, that's the thing with Peyton. He looks ageless because he had the late 40s, early 50s gigantic forehead even when he was a young man. So it's hard if you're measuring the length of his forehead like rings on a tree, you're gonna have a hard time figuring out how old he is. So I'm guessing he's not wearing a Rockies uniform if he doesn't play for the Broncos. So yeah, I'm gonna probably put that one circa 2015. If you will. But yeah, he was at the stadium at one point filming a thing for his show with Russell Wilson, and that was the last time we saw Russ. That
was the last time we saw
fashion
him.
shows to go to.
Field. So sad. This was a fun sight at Coors Field. The Stanley Cup.
Wow.
On the field. This blew up. This absolutely blew up on our Twitter, which was so fun. But yeah, also having the Stanley Cup, having that championship energy at Coors Field.
That was awesome.
It was awesome. I'm sad that I missed it. That was the week I had COVID. Or one of the weeks I had COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, that one, again, just one of those opportunities when you point and click a camera. Sometimes it plays out. And there were people in front of us, in front of me, and the sea kind of parted right at the moment the cup was lifted.
Yep.
You had the scoreboard in the background. I was like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
ESPN, everybody else picking that up. But yeah, that was great from everyone that was able to go and say, hey, look, I actually saw the Stanley Cup. If you follow us as a podcast or as a show or on Twitter, you got even more of an up close and personal experience with it down at Breckenridge Brewery's farmhouse in Littleton. So that was another one of those really cool events.
Yeah. I'm glad I finally did get to meet the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't get to that time that it was at Coors Field.
Yeah.
Didn't you kiss the Stanley Cup?
You bet I did. With a little bit
and
of tongue.
that's how you got COVID. No, I'm just kidding.
It was months after I had COVID.
Disclaimer. Yeah. No. Although it wouldn't surprise me if that cup did pass a couple diseases around for the way people typically treat it.
I feel like after I gave it a kiss, I feel like I'm probably immune to a lot of things now. I exposed myself to a lot of things.
Yeah, technically that was a booster, right?
It was a booster.
Meet the Stanley Cup, kiss the cup.
They
get a
signed my
booster.
little vaccine card. That was my fourth booster.
Well, that's nice. Lord Stanley himself.
Lord Stanley
That's
himself.
cool.
Yeah, a little
I
arm
do like
came
that.
out. All right. I love this tweet from May. What if the Rockies go 17 and 145?
Oof.
But like, you know, it kind of felt that way for a little bit, I think. This was right after the hot start ended.
Yeah. Yeah, and it you begin to realize like, this thing that maybe if all goes well, it could end up in maybe a postseason appearance, or you're just satisfied with 80 some wins. And yeah, it sort of got derailed at that point.
Yeah.
The vibes weren't terrific. But look, the vibes are great thanks to the folks over at Pins and Aces.
Yes.
They're the official golf apparel partner of DNVR. Love the Pins and Aces gear. I got to hound Spence after the show, see if he can hook something up. They got like a Broncos style one too, which is really nice.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, that means there's going to be a Rockies colored one in that style. We need that. He gets tons of compliments on and off the golf course, so of course I want us to get those exact same compliments.
I love compliments.
Yeah, they're family owned. They're family owned company, so I think they might end up hooking us up. They're based right here in Colorado, so love supporting locally. Amazing polos, hats, golf bags. They even have a really cool beer sleeve that maybe it looks like a golf club, and you could sneak it into your bag. You know, you can fit like 7 in there. Nothing wrong with that. Save a couple bucks doing that on the course. Have a really good time thanks to Pins and Aces. And receive 15% off when you use code DNVR at pinsandaces.com. 50% off that first order. And you also get free shipping, again, when you use code DNVR at pinsandaces.com. You can also get a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with Athletic Greens. Go to athleticgreens.com/ROC, the first 3 letters in Rockies. I'm going to see if I can run it back this weekend, maybe do another marathon. But I got to start my day off with Athletic Greens. Like that's the way you do it. You get the 75 high quality vitamins, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, minerals, and kale. What else do you get in that scoop?
Adaptogens.
Yeah, baby. Adaptogen Sorbo. That's it. You get the adaptogens. I mean, that's Kale. That's the only thing he wants is the adaptogens. But he's like, all right, if you want to give me all these other things that make me feel good in the morning, I'll take it.
I don't even know what an adaptogen is. I just know it makes me feel good.
Yes. And it makes you have some clarity before your first cup of coffee. That is huge for so many people that feel like they're just pounding caffeine all day long. You don't even have to do it as soon as you wake up. When you get that 1 scoop of Athletic Greens, head over to athleticgreens.com/ROC, the first 3 letters of Rockies, to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Do you guys want to know what an adaptogen is?
I mean, I already know, but you should tell Kale.
Kale, an adaptogen, they're plants or mushrooms that help your body respond to stress, anxiety, fatigue, and overall well-being.
Wow, it sounds like I need more adaptogens.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely be maybe doubling my Athletic Greens intake.
Yeah, I think you should.
athleticgreens.com/ROC for when you need that, buddy.
Exactly.
I'm hooking you up.
athleticgreens.com/ROC.
That's my special hookup that you can use for friends and family and of course listeners of the pod who, hey, you're all our friends. All right, let's jump into the second half of 2022 where maybe it got a little bit crazier because at that point you go, we're not going to the postseason unless you have some kind of run like in 2007 and they just win every game. I don't know how. They did win 3 in Los Angeles, but ultimately it was not great. So I think we got a little more unhinged.
I think we definitely our mental well-being derailed over the course of the season. So like by after the All-Star break, I mean, we were just absolutely insane people.
Yes. In trail running or trail maintenance, they call that braiding, where you go off trail and there's like another little like side trail that's not really the trail. It's called braiding. That's kind of what we did. We went off the rails, but somehow we found our way back.
Okay.
Through some braids.
We found our way back
in the trail. Yes. I don't know. Let's find out.
Let's find out. Kale, let's see a tweet.
So So when we were discussing how we were going to do this, I was like, well, Suzie, I think we both agree. We probably don't need to do any score graphics. Some of them were fun. Some of them got a lot of good responses. The wins, people enjoy the wins. So let's just stay away from score graphics because there's, I don't know, maybe it lacks a little bit of creativity there. It's not some of our best work, but this this was our best work.
I feel, well, first of all, I always put full effort into score graphics when
That's
I do
right.
them. And this was one of them, of course. 69th loss of the season. Not nice. That was August 18th was our 69th loss.
Yeah, 13-0 loss to the Cardinals. That was Pujols hitting the grand slam off Gomber.
Yep.
And that was one of the low points of the season.
That was a low
probably.
point for sure.
It definitely was.
A
It
not
was
nice
a
point.
not nice time.
A
Yes.
not nice time to be a Rockies fan. Oh, love the game notes. Is Ron Swanson running the board today? Kale, did you want to read this or do you want me to read it?
I got you.
Okay.
My ideal backyard is a lot like Coors Field. Lots of green grass, quality sound system, cold drinks everywhere you look, and the best outdoor movie screen around. Unfortunately, the grounds crew said I can't camp at second base, and my HOA informed me that a 59 LED screen is against bylaws. I can still dream, though. And you can't write me up on a violation for that, Tammy.
Ooh.
Great acting. Great voice out on that one. That was good. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm using my BFA in so many great ways.
Yes.
Very fine. Very fine.
Kale went to
arts.
school for performing arts.
Yeah, I don't know if
I did. I do actually have a musical theater degree.
Yes.
that's it. It's coming in handy today in a big way. Yeah, there's definite Ron Swanson vibes on that one there, and I know you get that reference as a big
Parks and Rec
fan.
is maybe my favorite show of all
Yep.
time. I
Have
think
you
it is
guys met my mom?
No.
Oh, my mom is Leslie Knope. So this is like
Really?
important information.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Yeah, like
I
she's-
need to meet your mom.
Yeah, she's literally Leslie Knope.
What's her sign?
I don't know. She's born at the end of November. What would that make
She's
her?
a Sag.
Sagittarius, right? We all know that.
Yeah.
Sag season. It's coming up. It's not yet.
She's like the best, but also like her coworkers have literally pinned Leslie Knope memes all over her office because she's so much like Leslie Knope.
I love that. Oh my gosh, you must have had just like the best childhood.
I hope your dad has like Ben vibes and he loves calzones as well.
No, unfortunately,
calzone
not
guy?
big Ben Wyatt vibes coming from my dad. My dad's just like a traveling salesman.
Okay. Nice. I don't know if I have Ben White vibes, but I'm all about calzones.
Yeah.
Huge calzone guy.
I'm a big calzone
I'm getting
guy.
the calzone zone. You know what I mean? That's what I need to do. I love calzones. I do. Can you believe? Now this is for Kale. Can you believe remember that kid? He's like, "It's Charlie Blackmon! It's Charlie Blackmon!" He got all hyped up. Here's a picture of him with Charlie Blackmon. He turned 25 this summer. Can you believe that?
There's no way because I'm 25. So I was watching Charlie Blackmon as like a middle schooler, but not quite like that age.
I feel like this one was just on the line of people going, wait, is that? Or I feel like even if you knew that is no way, you're still like, but let me double check Google real quick. Let me just check.
That was funny.
This one might have to
Yeah,
come back
I was
every year.
rooting for like those days. I was rooting for like Larry Walker and Todd Helton when I was that age. So
Yeah.
actually, really cute story. I couldn't say L's when I was young, so I would always go Mary Walker.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
Hashtag Colorado kids.
Do you have pictures of you as a tiny Rockies fan?
I do. I have lots of them.
Bring him in.
Okay, I will.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Wowie Walker? Is that Wowie?
Maui with an M. Like,
like
Mary
that's
Walker.
his sister. His sister's Mary Walker.
Oh, really?
And he has a brother named Barry Walker and
I think
Gary
Patrick's
Walker.
doing a bit.
And I'm not
Oh,
doing
gotcha.
a bit. Look it up.
No.
Larry, Gary, Barry, and their sister Mary. 100%.
Oh my God! Wait,
I just
He's not doing
not
a
a
bit.
bit.
wait.
Sometimes life is stranger than fiction.
Mary Walker,
Mm-hmm.
Barry, Carrie, and Gary, the Walker family.
Yeah. I miss Carrie. Yes.
This is also a recurring Parks and Rec bit. Are we in a simulation right now?
Maybe.
Patrick, I thought you were doing
Nope.
it.
Nope. That's too much of a dad joke.
Also, it's very good. I will add, Larry Walker is a Sagittarius, born December 1st.
Larry Kenneth Robert Walker.
I'm in my Larry Walker year. I'm almost
Love
at the
that.
end of it.
What other kind of hijinks have we gotten in? Now, I was not here for this one,
Oh.
so I don't know the story, and that's what I love this activity, because it was going back and looking and being like, oh, man, I wasn't there for that day, or I had a day off, whatever it was. And I imagine
You had a day off, yeah.
And this was the one. But I imagine a lot of people too listening to the podcast watching this on the DNVR Sports channel on YouTube, there are those moments like that are just in between of like, oh, that was a cool little thing that I want to go back in and kind of relive. And so, this little guy from Hartford.
Yeah, so a father and son from West Hartford were out here visiting Colorado, and of course they wore their yard goats gear, which I loved. And the kid ended up catching one of Brendan Rodgers' foul balls.
That's cool.
Right? Like, and that's one of those sections in front of the press box too. But I loved that too, because I was like, oh, Brendan was, one of my favorite yard goats. And of course, like I spent so much time in West Hartford, so it was adorable for me personally. But then, they sent me that picture because they know that I am a person who used to be a reporter in Hartford. So it was a nice moment.
Yeah.
It was a nice moment.
And he's wearing all his yard goat stuff too.
Wearing all of his yard goats gear.
Perfect.
And that's what minor league baseball is. That's a big part of it is, you saw these guys when they were still figuring it out, and now you're seeing them in the majors. So it's really full circle. I love that.
That's cool. I like that too.
Yeah.
I thought that was really a nice moment.
Moment.
Other nice moments include.
Oh my gosh, this
Kyle
is maybe
Freeland.
my favorite, one of my favorites of the season.
Yeah, this was really great. We haven't seen anything like this in a while since Nolan has left. He removed all of the fire from the clubhouse. Kyle Freeland saying, we need a little bit more fire, and we need a little more electricity and sparks flying in the dugout. So he took care of that by bashing a light in the dugout.
He was big mad. He was big mad after not doing the work he wanted to do.
But he apologized, and so that would be. You know what? I'm gonna say it. That's a great item to show in a team Hall of Fame.
Yes. If only the Rockies had one.
If only.
I
think this item maybe belongs in the Hall of Fame. Like, just a wonderful moment.
Oh, this was lovely. So this was the day of Wynton Bernard's debut. I was talking to his mom, just to, I was interviewing her, so we can get some intel, see how she was feeling. It was a very emotional day.
Very.
While we were talking, though, she was like, I need to step aside because this is Wynton's college baseball coach. And they were crying, they were hugging. It was just like, it was such an incredible moment. I cannot believe that I witnessed it with my eyes.
Yeah, at Niagara University, I mean, Wynton really went through it in a lot of ways. He ended up leaving Niagara and then playing at a junior college nearby home. This was also around the time that his father had passed away too. So obviously, the head coach there at Niagara was very familiar with the situation and was always somebody that rooted Wynton on. So yeah, that was one of the many heartfelt moments involving Wynton Bernard.
Yes, that was definitely one of the best stories of this whole season.
Now in San Diego, right in front of the press box, there was this king rocking an away pinstripe Rockies uniform. Had the City Connect hat with the number 2 Tulowitzki away jersey on. I was like, this guy, this is a vibe right here. And that's a great look.
And this was the day that Juan Soto debuted for the Padres after that big trade.
What's
that like?
Yeah, really. That was a really cool moment. Kale, do you wish that the Rockies still had their away pinstripe uniforms that they have, the gray with the purple pinstripes? Do you like that look?
I like that look. I don't like it as much as the black vest, though. It's like it's not one that I'm like pining for them to bring back like I would the black vest, but they definitely are definitely a good look, and I love the pinstripe.
What would you rather have, the away pinstripe with the road grays with pinstripes, or the white vest that was pinstriped? Do you remember the white vest that they had?
I do.
A short period of time?
I would probably I'd probably go with the road away pinstripe. Okay. That's a good look. Plus, it's just more classic. Like I remember in that 07 run watching those jerseys, which I don't know, gets you nostalgic for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
For sure.
I'm refreshing my memory with the white vest. What a look.
Very short-lived. Yeah,
what
very
a look.
Short-lived. We might even have a Carlos Gonzalez bobblehead around here with that on it. So yeah, that one's kind of a neat one. Another obscure. Again, it looks like all Rockies uniforms, right? They don't deviate very much, but they make certain tweaks to it to make it unique. So yeah, I think it's pretty neat.
I'm looking up how much a white vest jersey is. A Glen Allen Hill white pinstripe vest jersey. Oh, it's game worn. That's why it's so. I'm like, why is this $200?
Yeah, that's a good one. Might be oversized.
Can someone buy it for me?
That's nice. Let's see one more, Kale, and then we'll wrap up with talking about the postseason here. Yeah, on draft day, Jordan Beck video compilation of him rounding first base, giving a middle finger to the
Yep.
opposing team, slamming his back down. And yeah, Jordan Beck definitely has himself a vibe, a lot of swagger. He's got the long hair with the big glasses. Definitely looks like him and Zach Veen are twins.
They're
separated.
reading the same style magazines.
They really are, except Veen's got the stash, and Jordan does not, at least not yet. So those guys are looking pretty sharp there. As we said, Cleveland, New York, they're postponed. They'll play tomorrow, I think a day game. So there'll be 3 games tomorrow, only the one today.
Yeah. I mean, I love the postseason just because, we do get so many amazing baseball games all at once. And in my command center at home, I just have them all on.
That's it.
All of them up.
Televisions, on the televisions.
On the actual televisions.
Yeah, so we'll only have the one day game today. Seattle-Houston, Luis Castillo and his 2.99 ERA. I really think he could be a postseason beast for Seattle.
Yeah.
We said if Seattle's going to take the series, they have to be able to win one in Houston. So this is the one. Houston almost had to win that game. I think that's why they didn't give up and were able to score those 5 runs in between the 8th and the 9th, because they know Luis Castillo's on the hill. They got Framber Valdez, though, who's no slouch. Actually has a better season-long ERA. No, 2.82 ERA, so that's pretty darn good. But this is a must-win for Seattle. As you said, Philly and Atlanta, they are knotted at 1, just like San Diego, Los Angeles. That was a good game. Kyle Wright was dealing on the hill for Atlanta. Philadelphia held to only 3 hits there.
That was a crazy game. It was a crazy game. Yes, I was a little concerned for sure. But you know what? They're heading back home. They're already, I think, back starting their workouts at Citizens Bank Park. Yep. We're going to talk about some of the quirks of that series on tomorrow's Suzie show.
Ooh, can't wait. I think that'll be in the evening time, right?
That'll be at 5 o'clock. Kayla and I will be here. It'll be leading into the Friday afternoon club, which we love doing so much. So 5 o'clock Mountain Time. Join us. It'll be fun. Maybe I'll bring my keyboard. Maybe we'll play some music.
Okay. You do an organist kind of thing going on?
Maybe I'll do an organist kind of thing.
You're inspired from Dodger Stadium in your great interview from last week. Make sure you check that out, too, if you haven't already listened to the Suzie show on Friday. But the defense was the story, I think, in both games. Dansby Swanson had the over-the-shoulder grab in left center field. Austin Riley doing some Nolan Arenado type things with a play against the tarp. That was pretty impressive. And, of course, as we know from Bud Black, you don't want to give any free passes. Atlanta gets their 3 runs in the 6th, and it starts with a hit by pitch from Ronald Acuna and a walk to Swanson. We know those walks will come back to haunt.
That hit by pitch was brutal, too.
Yeah.
Because there was, for several minutes, wondering, is he even going to come back into this game? Yeah. It looked very painful.
It's been some unfortunate series of injuries for Acuna Jr. there. San Diego takes game 2, 5-3. Kershaw and Darvish both end up getting charged with 3 runs over their 5 innings pitched. Although Darvish started the inning, runners on first and third. Robert Suarez goes in, does an amazing job there, getting 3 outs, including an inning-ending double play, which was really cool to see. Trey Turner with another homer. Then he makes an error that opens the door a little bit for San Diego to score some runs. But the defense was, one of the bigger highlights as well. Besides the home runs, it was home runs and defense. Freeman, Turner, Max Muncy went ahead and homer. And then on the side for San Diego, Cronenworth and Machado, who also had a big double earlier on.
The other Crone Zone. The counterfeit Crone Zone.
Yeah, the bootleg Crone Zone, if you will. But yeah, Brusdar Graterol with a great barehanded play to cut down Will Myers at home, which was really a nice play. And then Bellinger making that twisting play in center field. And then the blooper of the game, the goose that got loose on the field. Whatever.
You know how I feel. So listen, I'm not rooting for the Dodgers and I'm not rooting for the Padres. I'm rooting for chaos, and that chaos arrived in the form of that big, beautiful goose.
Yes.
I loved that.
That was
he was
interesting.
A vibe.
That was definitely a weird moment. But these teams are tied up 1-1, so hey, that's kind of the chaos where maybe you have to hope for. It goes 5 games, and then maybe Atlanta and Philly is a little bit shorter. Those guys can rest up, and then San Diego and LA they beat each other up so much.
Yeah. It's so interesting how we have these 2 in-division matchups, or actually 3 in-division matchups, I guess, in this. So tensions are high. I love it.
Here we go.
I am loving this postseason so much.
It's postseason baseball. It's exciting. And it's at DNVR_Rockies for more of these wonderful tweets that you can get. Still new ones coming each and every day. At Patrick D. Lyons is where I'm at on Twitter.
And you can find me at the Suzie Hunter on all platforms.
Man, this one was big time fun. It was great. But you know what they say about momentum.
What do they say?
It's only as good as your next show. So, Suzie will see you on Friday at 5 p.m.